How's it going? 明けましておめでとうございます Happy New Year! So I hope that you guys are having a great time with your friends and family. For those who don't know me, I'm Yoko. I'm a Japanese living in Japan who is a huge Trump supporter, and because I support Mr. Trump so much, I can't say which type, but I'll be on this certain media soon as a Trump supporter, and you guys will like it, so I'm gonna tell you guys about it later, like when I can actually officially announce about it. And aside from that, I'm throwing a party to celebrate Mr. Trump's inauguration in Japan, and it's sad that Mr. Trump didn't invite me for the inauguration, but let's be realistic. I'm just a strategic person, and I think of what the smartest move that I can take here. So I'm thinking that instead of actually visiting America for the inauguration, I thought that it's better to stay here and throw a party here and invite the media here, and also take a bunch of pictures showing that we support Mr. Trump and that we're happy about the new US president and all that. That would have more news values, I think. So I have to organize the party first. I'll show you something. So this is the paper of the party that I support, and you see over here, random Yoko. So this is the flyer for the town meeting of the party that I support. This means that on January 28th in Fukuoka Prefecture, I will be speaking as a guest speaker of the party and talk about Mr. Trump and America in general. So that's gonna be exciting. I have to prepare a ton of slides because I have like an hour assigned. So yeah, I'm really grateful though that you guys are there to support me, so that I'm actually contributing so much for like Japan-US relation, and lots of exciting things are happening this month, and I'm already loving 2017. Anyways, today I'd like to talk about the news, which is that President Obama imposed sanctions on Russia and expelled 35 Russian diplomats from the US. It's crazy, but it's on our newspaper too, like on the front page. So this is Sankei Shimbun, like the last one from last year, and you can see on the front page here, you see 35, yeah, here. Yeah, it's talking about the Russian thing, and like it's this big. And the follow-up article is right here. So President Putin, Mr. Trump, and Obama, and you can see like what happened when, and like who said what and things like that. So it's pretty serious. It's as big as the so kind of a big deal. So in order to see what's going on, I think that we need to ask this, which is it about the problem that the US gets cyber attacks by Russia in general, or is it about the concern that Russia might have influenced the result of the election to make Mr. Trump win? And let me think about the both two cases in this video. So if it's the first case, which is that President Obama is angry at Russia's cyber attacks in general, then my question is, why accuse Russia only? I'm like, be as angry at the Chinese Communist Party, for example, as well, where they have cyber troops inside of the military, like very skilled ones, multiple of those, like directly underneath the party. So like, it's just not coherent to me, you know? So what makes me feel this? Let's look at the history of massive cyber attacks against the US, and I will name the 3 attacks that are listed on Wire.com. So the first one is Operation Aura, 2009 to 2010, which is said to be ordered by China. And the second one is Unit 61398 attacks. This is 2006 to 2014, at least by Unit 61398 of the Chinese army, and I believe that this includes a cyber attack on the information of millions of the US federal workers. And the last one is Operation Cleaver. This was 2012 to 2014 at least, which was sponsored by Iran. So what I'm trying to show here is that during all these periods, President Obama was there as the US president, right? So my question is, why wasn't President Obama as strict against them back then as he is right now against Russia, like making diplomats leave and stuff, or agitating them as an enemy on TV and all the media. China is a good example because you can tell that it was done nationally by the structure, and I never heard Chinese diplomats being forced to leave by Obama. So my example still goes on, and I hope that you have the patience, but in order to show how serious the Chinese one was to America, like as a cyber threat, I will quote the words by the US Representative Mike Rogers at the time in October 2011 at the committee hearing on cybersecurity. China's economic espionage has reached an intolerable level, and I believe that the United States and our allies in Europe and Asia have an obligation to confront Beijing and demand that they put a stop to this piracy. Beijing is waging a massive trade war on us all, and we should band together to pressure them to stop. Combined, the United States and our allies in Europe and Asia have significant diplomatic and economic leverage over China, and we should use this to our advantage to put an end to this scourge. And according to the article from that time I saw, it said that the senior Democrat on the Intelligence Committee and the former CIA director and others agreed to that. And this was all in 2011, a long time ago, before the cyber attack on federal workers even. So what I'm trying to say is, for example, there was already this type of Chinese cyber threat which was this high at that time, and why didn't President Obama take action to strengthen the cyber security in the United States, like effectively enough? I believe that he kind of did, but apparently he failed. And what's interesting to me, who is non-American, is that the US gives the impression to the world that you guys are number one in terms of technology, which I believe that you are, but it seems not when it comes to cyber wars. Don't you think? It's understandable, I guess, that you would like to bash assumed hackers, because I would too if there was such a case, but I simply think that President Obama is actually responsible for this, and I just don't feel right that he keeps bashing Russia. He was supposed to do things to prevent it, you know? I thought that all the other countries will keep attacking you, especially when you're number one in the world, right? And I thought that politicians are there to protect you and secure your life. So now let me quote the words by Rich Barger. I don't know how to read, but Threat Connect's Chief Intelligence Officer, and I'll also quote the follow-up sentences by Wired.com. We can't operate with the mindset that everything has to be about keeping them out. The question is, how do we limit their effectiveness and conduct secure business operations knowing they're watching? Accomplishing that means building networks that are designed to limit a hacker's ability to maneuver and creating better ways to detect anomalous behavior by allegedly authorized users. So again, you can't be so girly and act like, oh my gosh, Russia attacked us, blah, we're their enemy, blah. Like, the overly dumb bashing against Russia by Democrats doesn't feel right to me. Like, it's just what happens, especially in politics. And you don't want to act that way, especially when the country you're bashing is the very country that you don't want to turn into your enemy. So considering other attacks like I mentioned, it seems to me that President Obama is not only trying to conceal his poor work on cybersecurity, but also it seems to me that he is trying very, very hard to hide the dirt of Hillary Clinton, such as selling uranium to Russia, exposing the US by poor management of her email, not being responsible for Benghazi attack, agitating the war against Russia, like more than needed. So I'm like,
excuse me, President Obama, there's a traitor, there's an enemy inside of your country, inside of your political party. You have to do something about it.
Wait, you are protecting her.
So to me, it looks like President Obama is making an enemy somewhere else, so that he can protect Hillary Clinton, who's a Democrat, and also himself. And at the same time, as a lot of you point out, President Obama is definitely making or leaving problems for Mr. Trump when he becomes the president. And it was interesting to me that my Japanese political friend, he's a Japanese, but he pointed out the same thing to me the other day, actually, saying that, you know, President Obama is doing this on purpose. Isn't it interesting that we're not even American, but we can tell? Like, you should know that it's that apparent what President Obama is trying to do. And soon we will say goodbye to President Obama, so Obama is probably like, you know what, I've got nothing to lose, and he's going nuts. The ironic part of this, though, is that, let's be realistic, the more President Obama bashes Russia, the more he will be hated by Russia, and Mr. Trump will be received well or positively by Russia. Politics. So now let's think of another thing which I asked at the beginning of this video. So President Obama is going very extreme, but is it about the concern that Russia might have influenced the result of the election to make Mr. Trump win? If that's the case, like I said, I'd like to ask President Obama, like, before bashing Russia, why don't you punish Hillary Clinton? So I will quote the comments of Sean Spicer, taken from Independent, who is the RNC communications director since 2011. Why aren't we talking about Hillary Clinton getting debate questions ahead of time? That's a very valid attempt to influence an election. Somebody giving her debate questions and answers before an election. When are we going to start talking about the other side of this, which is what did Hillary Clinton do to influence the election? Is she being punished in any way? I remember the Green Party and other leftists going nuts over the election results, saying that it must be some mistake and wrong, but it turns out that they were the wrong one, right? Like, who's trying to change things around on the election? The US leftists. Like, I come from another country. My country can definitely not afford it, but most countries work on other countries, you know, for their benefit, and I can't deny all the possibilities of other countries influencing the US. But the important thing is that there are definitely huge problems domestically inside of the US, and I'm wondering why those Democrats happen to be blind on their own problems. Right? Don't you think? So my conclusion is that whether this bashing against Russia happening in America is about cyber attacks in general or about the election result, the argument by President Obama is not valid or coherent. And Democrats are blind on their own actions, like I said, and that is not convincing. Lastly, as Japanese, I have to tell you guys something though, which you might not like because, well, I know how you are. But I would say don't trust Russia fully. Because, I mean, President Putin is a great leader, you know, but for Russia and not for your country, you know what I mean? I mean, if your leader becomes good friends with him, that can benefit you, but I just hope that you know what I mean. If you want to know exactly what I mean by this, please look up Soviet-Japanese Neutrality Pact and what happened to it or what happened to our relation, and also the Northern Territories problem, especially the part where a lot of us Japanese conservatives got disappointed in Prime Minister Abe recently on the issue, while he is a great friend of President Putin. Overall, though, it's better than we have tensions in between of Russia, so I don't know, I just don't want politicians to pull down our guards too much or compromise too much, you know. And the territorial disputes that we have with Russia may be giving us a balance in diplomacy just like we do with South Korea, so I can't say it's good or bad. Like, I can't say things black and white because it's politics, like it's complicated and it's not that simple. And one thing to note is that yes, like President Putin might benefit you in a way, but he won't be the president of Russia forever. Like, yes, he does look like he's been alive for hundreds of years, but he will eventually resign and the Communist Party power is still big in Russia. It might be just me, but I would just be cautious about Russia and I would keep the distance, if you know what I mean. So what I'm saying is that, to be honest, I am a little worried that Mr. Trump is showing that he's close to Russia. But I think that his surroundings are smart as well as him. So I'm hoping that he will see the balance of the distance with Russia. to look on the bright side though, Japan is actually in a good relationship with Russia, I think. So if Mr. Trump gets along with President Putin, like after he becomes the president, I think that all of us, like Prime Minister Abe, Mr. Trump, and President Putin, we can all get along with each other, and that would be cool. Meaning that our alliance, like Japan-US alliance, won't change, and I find it good. But yeah, this is politics, man. Like, we never know what politicians really mean behind their words, but there's a way actually that we can see what they mean. How? We just need to read things by seeing what happened in the past, like who did what in what pattern. So that's all I have to say on this news, I think. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Oh, and if you watched till now, let's put the name Hello Kitty. I swear I am not sponsored. I just pick random things from here. Put the word Hello Kitty so that I will know if you actually watched this video till the end. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want to see more of these videos and improvements in quality, visit my Patreon page and see if you'd like to support me monthly. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I will talk to you guys in a few days. So until then, please take care. Goodbye. 6138 not 61398. An intolerable peonage. Peonage. Intolerable espionage. Intolerable. And we should use this to our advantage. According to the article, to me, not only that President Obama, the more President Obama, president of 2000, I can't say 2000, 9 to 2010, which is said to be 1000. It's Operation Aura, 2009 to 2010, 2011. Very hard to buy unit 613. I'm doing fine.